So Sage Mode Jiraiya versus Sasori. Let's enter this one. So I actually have arguments for both sides. If you ever want to debate someone, you feel free to use them. But continuing on. Here's an argument for Sage Mode Jiraiya. Deidara unsurely admits inferiority to Sasori, indicating relativity to some degree, right? He's like, oh, yeah, I guess he's stronger than me, right? He wasn't like, oh yeah, he's stronger than me. He's stronger, right? So that implies relativity. You could arguably. Deidara admits Heavy Sasuke is too quick for him, forcing him to implement a different battle strategy. He admitted Sasuke's too quick. Like Toby said, Sasuke's too quick. He says that in the manga. So that implies he does and is willing to explicitly acknowledge inferiority, right? So keep that in mind. So Igetsu, right, because Heavy Sasuke is faster than Deidara, arguably beat him. So he's at least at bare minimum slightly superior to some arbitrary degree. Suigetsu states that the only reason Orochimaru lost to Sasuke is because he was sick, which implies inferiority on Sasuke's part to Orochimaru. Right? So continuing on. Hence, connecting all these puzzle pieces, Sasori scales below Sage Mode Jiraiya. Why? Sage Mode Jiraiya is relative to Orochimaru at his best, who is superior to Sasuke, who is superior to Deidara, who is at bare minimum relative to Sasori, maybe slightly inferior. Right? So I would say through transitivity, Sasori most likely loses. So that's the argument for Jiraiya. Now let me give you the argument for Sasori. Sasori is stated to be above Prime Chio, who stalemated Hanzo on several occasions, which implies relativity. Hanzo spared the lives of the younger Sannin. You could argue Jiraiya still deems Hanzo as superior based off his reaction when learning of Hanzo being defeated by Pain. Right, so he was like, oh shit, someone actually beat his ass, and that was an older, wiser Jiraiya with Sage Mode that could possibly use Sage Mode if he had to. He's like, oh, he lost. How the fuck does he lose this? I didn't think that was possible. Right, which implies inferiority. Continuing on. Hence, Sasori scales above Hanzo, who scales relative to Chio, hence who scales above Sage Mode, Prime Chio. Let me make sure I say Prime Chio. Who scales above Jiraiya. Hence, Sasori will most likely beat Jiraiya. Right, so those are arguments you could use for either side. So yeah.